Yes, Roger with my campfire tales. Today I'm going to repeat a story that was told to me by my dad when he was growing up. When he grew up with 8 brothers and a sister out in the wilderness, basically, in this small house on a 160-acre farm next to some state forest land. They were really kind of, they didn't have a lot of money. This is right after the, Depression, or, and they were just barely making it. My grandmother had raised the kids pretty much all by herself. Her grandfather would go off for, a couple weeks at a time, try to make some money in town or something, but she would have to make do with what she had in the house. And one day she woke up during the middle of the winter, and she looks around and there's nothing in the refrigerator, just nothing to cook, and she's looking at all these hungry kids in the house, and there's just a blizzard outside, and she was desperate. She's got these hungry kids, and she was in charge of it all, and so she bundles herself up. And, just every piece of clothing she had, just had an apron, had, a scarf, and, babushka, I think they called it back then. And she grabbed a shotgun. It was just a single-shot shotgun, and she took 2 shells. And she just went out the door, into that blizzard. All the boys, and the girl stood around the door just, oh, wow, I don't know if she's going to come back, or, that's a pretty mean storm out there. So, a couple hours later, just they hear kind of a clatter or commotion coming up the stairs, and all of a sudden the door opens up and the snow's blowing in, and here's Grandma standing there, and in her apron she had 6 quail and 2 rabbits, and she had 1 shotgun shell still left. And apparently she had come up to this hollow log, and all these creatures had huddled together for warmth inside this, this cold, in this blizzard, and she was able to take that many of these with that 1 shot of hers. And he said in all the years that, my grandmother was kind of a pretty stoic person, and he says that's the one time I saw her smile. That was, she had food for all the kids, and that just made her happy enough that we actually saw her smile. We hope that you enjoyed this week's telling of Campfire Tales. Please remember to hit subscribe to make sure that you get the announcements for next week's upcoming activities, as well as the new topics for the Campfire Tales. Please also share the fun that we have here and let your friends know about our website. Check out RogersOutdoorChannel.org for more information and to stay connected. If you like the outdoors, great to enjoy this site.